I think we good. I think we good. I think we good. Let's get the show started, y'all. Let me know if y'all can hear me out there. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Ain't nothing but love. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Ain't nothing but love out there. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. What's up, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Make sure y'all can hear me. Make sure y'all can hear me. Make sure y'all can hear me. What's good? What's good? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I see y'all in the chat early. I love it. I see y'all in the chat early. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, 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 yes. Amazing. Let's get the show started. Let's get the show started. Let's get the show started. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in every Sunday and every Wednesday. It means the world to me. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 13, and we're going to continue to, you know what I'm saying, move that thing along. So, again, we're going to have a good time. If this is your first time tapping in, we talk about everything over here: music, entertainment, sports, social commentary, social media. We have a good time. We do have the serious conversation. We talk politics. We talk about everything over here. And like I said, we can be serious and we can have a good time. So again, I want to appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. It means the world to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. We got some day ones already in the chat. We got some badge holders, big badge holders already in the chat. A shout out to Ebony in the building. Hey everyone, hit that like, share, sub, and like button. Appreciate that, Ebony. A shout out to Tremont, Brooklyn. Okay, shout out to Winter in the building, the loyal crew. Shout out to King P, yo party people. Shout out to Big Paul. We got Big Paul in the building. Shout out to Big Paul. Good night, Ash. Shout out to we can hear you. Okay. Y'all crazy. Hey Ash, yes, we can hear you. These last days have been busy, but because it seemed I just watched you, seemed like I watched you yesterday and your friend Jokey. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, we've been busy. You know what I'm saying? We trying to take over the world with this message because the world need to hear this message, and we have a good time. So I appreciate the love, Paul. You already know. I appreciate everybody in the chat showing major love. I've been seeing y'all engagements, those comments that y'all leave in the shorts and in the video. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. My dog Tom in the building. What's good, my dog Tom? Ashley in chat. Family, stay blessed and balanced in life, man. Appreciate that, my guy, man. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Y'all was super amazing. I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Also, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not try to stand out by being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We celebrate life culture. Hate has a location. It's just not here. And again, don't forget to hit them likes. Don't forget to hit that share button. And again, I appreciate it immensely. Take advantage of those memberships. We got quite a few memberships. Take advantage of those memberships. And again, I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. All right, y'all. With no further ado, tonight's show, we're going to get this started. First segment of the night, popular opinions. Y'all laughing at my smiley face. You know what I'm saying? Because he smiled for me. You know what I'm saying? And laughing at my smiley face. So, first segment of the night, popular opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. You see it in the background, OUV Records. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records. Stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label model is, oh, almost dropped the box. Create, document, and inspire. So make sure y'all stay in tune to OUV Records. All right, y'all. First question of the night, popular opinion. Remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. Best sports nickname on this list. Best sports nickname on this list. Number one, Magic, Urban Magic Johnson. Number two, Primetime, Deion Sanders. Number three, Iron, Mike Tyson. Number four, Megatron, which is known, or his real name is Calvin Johnson. So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, favorite nickname on, excuse me, best sports nickname on this list. Best sports nickname on this list. Number one, Magic as in Irvin Johnson. Number two, Primetime as in Deion Sanders. Number three, Iron as in Mike Tyson. And number four, Megatron as in Calvin Johnson. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to, we got Ryan Anthony in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, Ryan Anthony. B Judge Smoke. Okay, I don't know what that means, but appreciate you for tapping in. If you really here to show your support, stay engaged into the chat and show major love if you're here. Shout out to Mecca, New York. Shout out to the Mecca, New York. Without New York, where will we be? Paul going with Iron. She's saying Iron Mike Tyson. She's going with Iron Mike Tyson. Okay. But again, if you're a boxer and you got to fight a dude named Iron, that means he got hard hands and it's going to be a long night. You better bob and weave with those right there. Tom, he said Prom Time. He liked that Prom Time nickname. Not mad at none of these nicknames. All of these nicknames to me is super duper fire. To me, the best sports nickname is Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, like, people forget his real name is Irvin. He prefers people to call him Irvin, right? But it's so synonymous with who he is, the Laker brand. It's Magic. Like, he hasn't played basketball in the NBA in a long time. And he's still known as Magic. Mind you, other guys have their nicknames and they're retired and haven't been playing basketball in a long time. We still don't refer to those people as their nickname, right? Michael Jordan, for example. MJ is MJ, right? That's MJ. That's your earness, right? Oh, Michael, like that's Michael. You know what I'm saying? He retired, dog. That's Michael right there. Gary Payton, which was one of the most fire nicknames in the world to me, is the Glove, right? They don't call him the Glove. He's Gary Payton. He's he's an older man. He hasn't played in the league in a while. So me personally, I gotta go with Magic Johnson. It's just such a fire nickname, and it fits. And mind you, he hasn't played ball, and he's still in business and killing the game in business. So I got to go with Magic Johnson, me personally. Prime time is fire too. I will say that. Prime time is hardcore fire right there. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's prime time. Back in the day when prime time mattered, meaning like prime time television, that mattered. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jackson music videos used to come on prime time. It didn't come on the same time as every other, like, oh, you a big artist. Yeah, that's cute. You come on with everybody else. That's cute. Yeah, my videos come on prime time, dog. Like, that's what my joint premiere. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole hour, give you a backstory. Prime time, that's when prime time mattered. So Megatron is fire. I ain't gonna hold you. Megatron is absolute fire for a nickname for a football player as well. So again, I'm going with Magic Johnson. I'm going with Magic Johnson. In the chat, I like Mike Tyson nickname LOL. It's crazy because you see Deion Sanders, people call him Prime. Right, he still go by Coach Prime. See again, they just showing that up, Coach Prime, and he's still must-see TV. Colorado is still must-see TV. So it's, but again, like Magic Johnson name is so bubbly that people forget his name is Irvin. Like, if you ever watch him do like sports commentary, they make it a point to call him Irvin. Like, they make it that point because he's so world renowned as Magic. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's an ill nickname. back in his heyday, right? And just follow me for a second. Late 70s, early 80s. He in the club, be like, yeah, baby, I'm Magic. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you know women, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, are you Magic in all places? well, well, you know, there's only one way to find out, baby. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? This is I mean, it's follow your boy. You and your homies. You know what I'm saying? So that type of nickname, that's kind of like a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? You can't go up to a lady and be like, yeah, baby, I'm prime. You know what I'm saying? I'm prime time. Like, what? Huh? You know what I mean? Magic hit a little different for me personally. You can't go up to a woman and be like, yeah, my name is Iron Mike. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you going to jail, sir. You know what I'm saying? You just can't do that. And same thing with Megatron. Calvin Johnson, like you're Calvin Johnson. Only time you're Megatron is when you're playing football, which is still a fire nickname. But again, I'm going with Magic. I'm saying all these things just to, fill my point up. So again, I'm going with Magic Johnson. The rest of y'all in the chat has been mixed. I've seen Prime, I've seen Iron Mike Tyson. So it's been like a running thing with that one. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Tom. The greatest slogan in the world. I want to be like Mike. That I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. That is bubbly fire. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. That is bubbly fire. I'm not gonna hold you. Peace and love, Ashley. Oh, we got Washida in the building. Appreciate Washida for tapping in. We got W Dog in the building. Tom, I agree with you with Urban Magic Johnson. Paul, that's true if you young enough, that's how they introducing magic. You know what I'm saying? Well, see, like the ladies already knew when he walked into the room. Like they even call him Irvin. You know what I'm saying? They're like, "Oh, that's magic. Why they call him magic?" Yeah, girl, you want to find out? I dribble more than basketballs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just such a layup. You know, I know it's a layup though. You know what I'm saying? It's a slam dunk. You know what I mean? Just a fire nickname. Your friend or family speaking in him. I mean, your friend or family speaking on him. I tried to finish the rest. It got redacted. I didn't redact that one. Well, I didn't redact anything. Shout out to Sarah. We got Sarah in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Y'all don't forget to hit the likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. And if I miss y'all comments, sometimes I don't reply to y'all comments because I missed it. Not because I'm doing it on purpose, but I appreciate y'all support nonetheless. And again, yeah. And when it's redacted too, I'm not redacting the comments. So just know that as well. All right, y'all. So again, I went with Magic Johnson in chat. I seen Prime Time Deion Sanders, and I seen Iron for Iron Mike Tyson. Again, I went with Magic. Mind y'all, over 240,000 people voted on this. 35% went with Calvin Johnson Megatron. I ain't gonna hold you. If you play football and you say the name Megatron, that means that there's a receiver out there going crazy, right? But I ain't mad at that's a fire nickname. That's from Transformers. Megatron that's a fire nickname, but I'm still going with Magic. Me personally, I think Magic is just the best nickname on here. But it is what it is. But I'm not a hater. The rest of the world went with Megatron. All right, y'all. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. And if this is your first time tapping in, again, I'm Ashley Lovechild with the big smiley face, and this is the Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast where we talk about everything. We got the bros in here, we got the ladies in here, and we had that real conversation, and we have a good time doing it too. All right, y'all. Next popular opinion question. Best G Unit album on this list. Best G Unit album on this list. And I'm probably speaking to like real hip hop fans because a real hip hop fan would know the answer to this, right? Best G Unit album on this list. Number one, Straight Outta Cashville, Young Buck. Number two, The Hunger for More, Lloyd Banks. Number three, Beg for Mercy, G Unit, that G Unit album. And number four, the documentary, The Game. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Best G Unit album on this list. Best G Unit album on this list. Again, Young Buck with what? Straight out of Cashville. Number two, the Hunger for More, Lloyd Banks. Number three, Beg for Mercy, G Unit album. Number four, the documentary, The Game. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Listen to all these albums. I know all these albums. They came out when I was in my teenage years, but all these albums are a good time, to be honest with you. Which album I listen to more? Beg for Mercy, like that G Unit album. If you go back to the track list on that album, just a plethora of hits. A good time. You know what I'm saying? Good for the party, good for by yourself, good for when you're driving in the car, good for the radio. It was just a great time. So me personally, I'll probably bet her Beg for Mercy out of all the albums, but the best overall album on this list, in my opinion, I'm gonna have to say The Game, the documentary album. That album was fire. Then it was rumored, I won't say rumor, they let it be known that 50 Cent gave The Game some of his songs to make the album stronger, and he got that method and ideology from Dr. Dre. They, whoever album that everybody was working on, they poured into that album to give them the best product possible, and that's how they do that. So again, at that time, 50 Cent was on fire, and he gave him some of those records, but The Game still had a great album. So me personally, the best album, The Game documentary. The album I listen to the most for sure is Beg for Mercy on this list. Shout out to the chat. I'm seeing The Game. Y'all all going with The Game on this list. I'm seeing The Game, and then I'm seeing Beg for Mercy. I'm seeing Beg for Mercy. First that G Unit album was fire though. That Beg for Mercy was something serious. I like The Hunger for More too by Lloyd Banks as well. But I can't front, like, look, like Young Buck has some hits on that straight out of Cashville on that album. So again, in the chat is, I'm seeing Game, and I'm seeing Beg for Mercy by G Unit on this list. Mind y'all, 132,000 people voted on this. 43% went with Beg for Mercy by G Unit. I'm not mad at that. That album had a lot of hits. That album had the radio going crazy. It had 106 and Park going crazy with the videos, the energy, right? The like, just you can hear it at the part. Like, you can hear G Unit records back to back at parties, and they can literally play like 7 in a row, and you'll be cool because it's all hits. So I'm not mad at that. So again, 43% went with Beg for Mercy, G Unit on this list. Shout out to CC. We got my dog CC in the building, man. Hit them likes, hit them 100s. My brother Ash, appreciate you for tapping in. We got my dog Fam in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up with my people on this Wisdom Wednesday? I love that. I love that. That's fire. That's fire. Again, y'all, we on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just went over 13,000. And again, I want to thank y'all for supporting those videos daily. I've been dropping videos daily. So I'm loving the engagement. So again, I appreciate y'all always. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. I'm going to give out 3 Eddie Murphy Awards to some 3 fire must-see movies. Y'all must tap into these movies if you haven't already. These are good times. So my first Eddie Murphy Award goes to the movie that came out in 2025. This was directed by James Cameron. This stars Zoe Saldana, Sam Worthington, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lane, and Kate Winslet. This movie is called Avatar, Fire and Ash. If you haven't seen this movie yet, this movie is fire. It is exactly like the name of the movie is. Fire. It's a must-see movie, I'm telling you. And obviously, this is the 3rd installment of the movie, but it's super duper fire. I'm not going to ruin it for you. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Just tap in to see it. It's worth the watch. The movie is long, but I like it's so good. I didn't like, you ever watch a movie and it feels like 3 hours? I watch this movie and it'd be like, damn, that It was that long. I like I'm having hell of a time. And I actually watched it like 3 times. It was that good in my opinion, and I think this is the best one out of the installment. So make sure y'all tap it to see Avatar, Fire and Ash. Second must see movie, and my second Eddie Murphy award goes to a movie that came out in 2014. This movie stars and directed by George Brasher and David Field. Also co-stars with the Millie Rose, Haywood, excuse me, Millie Rose Haywood, Brian Ellison, and David Roberts. This movie is called Convict. Fire, must see movie. This is about a man who's in the service for his country, comes home, have a good time with his wife, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. Not going to spoil it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see the movie Convict. And this particular Convict movie came out in 2014 again, because there's several convicts. Convict came out in 2014. And my third Eddie Murphy award goes to the movie that came out in 2022, directed by Lucy Gunj, excuse me, Gunano. That's the name, Gunano. This stars Taylor Russell, Timothy Camelot, Mark Rylance, Chloe Savina. She's very well known, might I add, and Anna Cobb. This movie is called Bones and All. Fire must see movie again. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but this is about a young girl and her father, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. I won't spoil it for y'all. So again, make sure y'all tap it to see Bones and All. Fire must see movie. So my three Eddie Murphy awards goes to the movie Avatar, Fire and Ash. Number two, Convict, and number three, Bones and All. So make sure y'all tap into those movies. Fire must see movies. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Y'all know I'm gonna give y'all some fire music to tap into, whether it's new or old, whether it's hip hop or R&B. I'm just gonna give y'all that fire. So my profile artist for tonight is Trisha Covington. And my three Michael Jackson awards goes to her songs. Number one, Why You Wanna Play Me Out, the K reprise. That's what it's called. The K reprise is basically like the K remix. Fire must have song on your playlist. Number two, Same Old Thing. Number three, Giving It Up. So again, make sure y'all tap into this music. It's absolutely fire. Again, her name is Trisha Covington. Again, my first Michael Jackson award goes to her song "Why You Wanna Play Me Out," the K reprise remix. Number two, Same Old Thing, and my third Michael Jackson award goes to the song "Giving It Up," again by Trisha Covington. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Ebony. Shout out to Ebony Ashley. I finally watched the Brown Bunny and Caligula. Really, really, really. Hmm. Hmm. If y'all haven't seen that movie yet, y'all, the rest is that's in the chat. These movies are crazy. These movies are rated R, and they're showing everything and doing everything in these movies. So if you haven't seen that movie, that's probably what Ebony is referring to. But it is these are wild movies. Like their scenes, like their intimate scenes, they're showing penetration orally and vaginally. They showing all that. They showing all of that. So these movies is wild. The Brown Bunny and Caligula is wild. Uh, and they considered that movie rated R. And the time at the time is crazy. They was actually showing that they was actually showing everything. Facts. So again, if y'all haven't seen that movie, see those movies again. That movie is called Caligula, about Caligula Caesar, and then the other one is called Brown Bunny. Crazy movie. Those intimate scenes was, and it was rated R. It was considered rated R at the time that they dropped those movies. So if you know, you know. Make sure y'all tap into those movies. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. We're about to head to the airport, book them flights, and send them to Turkey or no. Send them to Turkey or no. Y'all know the rules of the game. We type in T to send it to Turkey, or we type in N not to send it to Turkey. When people say and do crazy things, that's what we do. All right, first one of the night. Brooklyn rapper slain by his stepson. He didn't want his pregnant wife exposed to the smoking. His stepson, about 15, 16 years old, said that, it was brought to his mother's attention, or the mother felt like he was smoking. She confronted him. He confronted her. And of course, as the man of the house, he went in there, tried to de-escalate the situation, and the stepson, ended up shooting him, ended up murdering him. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending this to Turkey? Are we sending the young man to Turkey? T to send him to Turkey, N not to send it to Turkey. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, it was a Brooklyn rapper. He was actually on this come up. He had a viral song called Sliding, and he went by, his name is Jamal Davis, but he went by, I hope I'm saying it right, Sin Theory. Hope I'm saying it right. Sin Theory. And he had a song called Sliding, and it was actually, making its way and doing its thing. And, unfortunately, his son or stepson, took him out after confronting him about not smoking around his mother, which happened to be his pregnant girlfriend. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. So y'all saying Turkey. Y'all going with Turkey in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100, y'all. Uh, Turkey T one-way ticket. I love that. Shout out to fam. Send him to Turkey with no return. Love that. Love that. I agree with y'all. I agree with y'all. At the Listen, for some, I don't know what it is in this day and age when it comes to adults addressing kids. Because let's keep it real, he's a kid, but it just seemed like kids want to be kids when there's not wanting to face consequences. But maybe it's just me. And I know it's not, but again, eras matter. As I got older, there was a healthy respect and fear of my parents, regardless of what I did. I was never fearful that they would like beat me up or whoop me or something like that. I wouldn't say never, but I'm talking about as I got older, right? But there was always a healthy respect. And no matter what I did, and no matter what they said, I still had to respect their word. So for some reason in this day and age, the point that I'm getting to is that it just seemed like teenagers now got a whole lot of mouth. And that's mainly because they feel like they're entitled to what they're feeling and how they're feeling in regards to anybody else. So when you call them out on it, it comes with a whole lot of backlash and a whole lot of back talk. Now, if you're an old school parent like myself, I don't do a whole lot of back talk. I'm an equal opportunity ass whooper around these parts. I will suplex you wherever, however, that's just how I be about on my, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's about respect. And there's ways of getting that respect. Now, some parents choose not to do that with their children because they felt like they've had a hard upbringing and they don't want to give their child that same type of energy when it comes to sparing the rod. But there has to be a healthy fear that a child must have for their parent, whether it's a physical fear or whether it's a disappointment fear. Either way, there has to be a fear when a parent lays down the law of the house. There's not a whole lot of back talk, no matter how old you get. And it just seemed like the older I got, the more respectful I got. I didn't hit my mother with the ma'am until I got older. Like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. So it's just that level of respect that you have. So the fact that let's throw out the fact that he's a upcoming rapper, whatever. He's just a man that's having a baby with his woman, and his woman happened to have an older child that happens to be a son. Now, if he's smoking, that's going to be a problem because this woman is pregnant. Your mother's pregnant. She can't inhale all that. She's trying to bring in a healthy baby girl or a healthy baby brother. So for you to feel like you're going to buck and then you feel like your best option was to shoot the man that your mother is with, honestly, it seems like they spread the ride on that young man quite often. Cause I get like it, I just don't understand the lack of respect, and he's just not one. It just feels like this is like the attitude of this era, and I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it's the foods that they're eating, maybe it's the programs that they're watching, maybe it's the lack of ass kicking in the household. Maybe because majority of us is young parents, and we don't really want to like leg drop our kids like that, right? We don't want to embarrass them like that, right? But you have to find a way to create healthy fear. So when you say something, you say it. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to pull the belt out. You don't have to pull out the iron like Iron Mike. You don't have to do nothing extra. Your word is law and it needs to be respected by your child or children. So it's unfortunate that again that he lost his life by trying to take care of the household. And it's just unfortunate. He probably raised that kid. He probably raised that kid. The kid that actually ended up shooting him. He probably raised that kid. He probably been with the mother for so long that he probably actually raised that kid, which is sad. So that just seems like an attitude amongst the whole era. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I've seen y'all sending it to Turkey, but please share some thoughts on what y'all think about that in the chat as far as the mentality of the teenagers and the young people coming up when it comes to void of consequences. I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. He ruined his life as well. As ended he excuse me, he ruined his life as well as ended one. Now he's in prison for most likely 25 years or more. And the crazy thing, I'm not sure if they caught him yet. I believe he's still on the run. So when they do catch him, yeah, like it's so crazy. By the time they catch him, mind you, their child, whether it's a girl or a boy, the real part of that life is that the mother is dealing with a child in jail and a child in the real world. And she's raising this child by herself, which she didn't have to do in the past per se, because this her ex-boyfriend who passed away helped raise that child more likely, and now they having their own. So by the time he gets out of jail, the child that's here, being, that she's carrying right now, he probably won't even see that child for real. And like, how do you face that child? Like, yo, unalive your dad or the dad that he was your biological father, but damn, he was the only father that I ever knew, and I unalived him. How do you have that conversation? People don't think about these things, and it starts in the home. Like that's crazy. Shout out to my dog Tom. I'm back, family, 100%. Appreciate you for tapping in, my dog. Yeah, but again, it's crazy to me that this happened. This is irregardless of the fact that this guy was, getting his name out there. He's known as a rapper now, and this, that, and the third. Like at the end of the day, a father, a whole household is destroyed. A woman loses her mate, and a child loses their father. So and the kid just ruined his whole life because he's acting out of emotion. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next send them the turkey or non, send them the turkey or non. Y'all already know the rules of the game. We type in T to send it to turkey. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Actress Nia Long says in her latest interview that dating younger men is fun, Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. She had this latest view with Playboy magazine, and they act well. She answered that dating younger men is fun. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. She's had a super backlash regarding that statement, but I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. And again, don't forget to hit that in for not sending her to Turkey and type in T to send it to Turkey. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, when I heard the interview, I actually thought that she was posing for Playboy. That's what I thought. I was like, because that's what Playboy do. You go to Playboy, you take your clothes off, and they put the pictures out there. Um, but she did an interview because the Michael Jackson movie is coming out, and you're trying to get every bit of that press junket, which is quite interesting. If you got a Michael Jackson movie coming out, the biggest brand you attach yourself to is Playboy, but that's a whole nother question in itself, right? But do y'all have a problem with her saying that dating younger men is fun? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. We are all grown. Shout out to Ebony. We are all grown. We make it. We make excuse. We make excuses. Date whoever. Date whoever is an adult. Okay. Okay. Definitely respect that. This is how I look at it. When when you of age, date who you want to date. I said this on a previous show. Only people who are limited complain about dating. For example, if you're looking for a partner and the person that you're looking for is not in your circle, then you're going to say things and put things out there as if they don't look in other circles, like you're going to have a better chance. Dating doesn't work that way. If somebody else is not around, that person is not going to say, well, okay, since I don't see what I'm looking for, I'm just going to play over here with the person that's showing me the most love. No, you like what you like. Simple and plain. Whether that's a physical trait, whether that's a personality trait, just because it's not, just because the person that they may not like, or excuse me, that they like, doesn't mean that it's going to be you. And people that complain about dating have that type of mentality like, damn, if he wasn't around, I have a better chance with her. Or for the ladies, if she wasn't around, I would have a better chance with him. No, you're not. He's not looking at you, and she's not looking at you because people like what they like. And like there is a thing called law of attraction. So if you want something, you have to prepare yourself for it. You can't just want it because you want it. You got to prepare yourself for it. So this notion that people are mad that she's saying, well, dating younger men is fun. So what? So what? Like me personally, I don't want Nia Long. So I don't care if she's in her late 40s or 50s and she chooses to date men who are in their 30s or 20s. I don't care. I don't want her. And if I did want her, I still wouldn't care because I would like make myself be what she's looking for if I wanted her. Do that make sense? Because that's how dating works. When you want somebody, you have to prepare yourself for that person. That makes sense, right? So for the people that complain about dating, they bring up all these mantras. Like you hear different women may say, oh, okay, well, you're dating younger women, and that cuts my chances. If you're my age and you choosing to go younger, that cuts my chances, sir. I would rather date you than you dating somebody younger. But guess what? If he doesn't date the younger woman, he's still not going to date you. And that goes vice versa. Your chance is not better because other people not around. Other people like what they like. So this notion is not going to make it better. So I'm not going to send her to Turkey. Me personally, I'm not going to send Nia alone to Turkey, and I'm not necessarily like her biggest fan. She's a decent actor. She's been cute. She's not the she not all that to me, but she cute. She a part of the culture. She's been in great things. She's always spoke well of the culture, so I'm not gonna hate on her. I don't got nothing against Nia Long. Like she never did anything to me. Like you know what I'm saying. So this is like a very objective commentary that I'm giving. It's like I can't be mad at her statement at all. She like what she like. Just like everybody out there like what they like. There's some women out there that only like guys who are 6'4". Okay, cool. That's probably 3% of the population, but cool, right? But there's some guys, hey, we like fit women. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. Sometimes I like me a little chunk every now and again. You know what I'm saying? We have a good time. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a good time. But if I'm choosing somebody to have my children with, I'm gonna choose somebody smaller because after she has children, the weight gonna balance out. That's how I think. Because as we get older, we fight with something called gravity. And it's get tougher and tougher to work out. So if you don't stay on top of your fitness, hey, your non-fitness is going to stay on top of you. So again, I like women who are comfortable with themselves, being the best version of themselves. Me personally, whether she's tall, I like me a tall thing. Whether she's short, I love me a short thing. You know what I'm saying? All for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. I like them thick. I like them slim thick. I like them, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you need a little something to hold on to. Like, girl, you better hold on. You know, be careful now. But again, you like what you like when you like it. That's the point that I'm making. But shout out to the chat. Y'all going in the chat. Uh Maybe Playboy is reinventing themselves, or trying to. Maybe, when I think of Playboy, I think, hey, take them clothes off. That's what I think, me personally. Shout out to Washida. She said, right. CC, exactly 100 fam. Not to Turkey. A lot of actress been on Playboy too, and it ain't the first time. That's a fact. That's a fact. But again, people are choosing to be mad. The only reason why I point out the fact that it's Playboy, you're on Playboy promoting a Michael Jackson movie. It ain't nothing about Michael Jackson that screamed Playboy in his image. It's you get what I'm saying? Now, if it was a Prince movie, yeah, then I can understand Playboy. We talk about free gay, you know what I'm saying? You talk about with the choke chain and the choke waist and the cowboy and the ass out. That's just Prince vibe. I can understand Playboy. But Mike, you know what I'm saying, that's Reader's Digest. You know what I'm saying? Eh, 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 that's more his speed. You know what I'm saying? Playboy for a Michael Jackson movie? Nah, you know. But publicity is publicity. But her comment in itself, I can't send her to Turkey. Yo, once you're an adult, once you're an adult, you don't hear younger women complaining about dating older men. You hear them complain about dating guys their own age. You don't hear younger men dating older women. You don't hear about it. Ah, it's cougars all over me. She bought me a PlayStation, and I tore that ass up. You don't hear about them complaining. They had themselves a good time. I done tore that ass up. And she went out and bought me some soap, some milk, some bread. She bought some groceries. She bought some cleaning products, things to clean up the bathroom, smell good. She bought some potpourri up in here. You know what I'm saying? So again, once you're an adult, you're free to date who you want to. Let's start with these BS narratives. Oh, you're dating this person because you're not strong enough for this person or that person. Like, we gotta stop the cap, yo. You like who you like when you like it, how you like it. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. We got to stop the cap. And again, most people that complain is people who are limited. They're not the best version of themselves. So the people that are the best version of themselves, hey, they say things like, yeah, dating younger men is fun. Okay, let her do her thing. Just like if it was an older man, a more distinguished man, I guarantee you his Rolodex is younger women. It's not chicks around his age. So we gotta be adult about these conversations. Shout out to CC. Shout out to Paul, no turkey. But those young guys better watch out because she is clearly not taking them seriously. From her statement, they fun, and this is how she looks at it. Yeah, that's true. Also, I like that point. I like that point, Paul. But also, we all have to understand this. This goes for both men and women. So what? So what? Like we gotta realize that playing the game, meaning like having a situationship, whether hooking up, it's a part of dating. We all not taking everybody seriously. I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret, ladies. Men, we know whether we're going to take you serious or not within a conversation. Whether we're going to attempt to take you serious or not. And I'm pretty sure, ladies, y'all know to some degree whether you want to be taken serious by this person or not after a few conversations with them, based on what I've heard from women. But men, we know. So if you give us ridiculous answers, guess what? Okay, okay. It was. Thank you for coming out. God bless and good night. You're gonna hit it with the Russell Simmons Def Jam, right? If she's sexy, you're gonna be like, hey, she's sexy. She cool. We can play ball. But if she presents more than just the sex appeal, she's cool. She has a way about her. It's like, damn, something about her I like. She I ain't gonna hold you. She's not even that cute for real, but she's spunky. I like her attitude. I like her. Like damn, a dude would take that serious. So again, we know. So we gotta stop being so worried about being intentional in dating because everybody you date, you're not dating with the same intention. Let's keep it all the way real. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying we have one night stands for a reason. So ain't nobody ever had a one night stand in the chat. Like, are we gonna be honest and have the real conversation as adults? And those one night stands was one night stands for a reason. I ain't gonna hold you. Some of my exes that I've been with for a long time, hey, we got to it on the first night, and been with them, for a long time after that. Connection is connection. So we gotta stop worrying about the intent and be where people is at. If they want a relationship, and if it's there, then get the relationship. If it is not, sayonara. Shout out to Cece, yeah, that's true. Shout out to Washida, that's old news. What's old? Which part is old news? The fact that how men view women and how women view. Well, I can't speak for women, but I'm only speaking for based on what women I dealt with in my past had told me. But as a man, that's real news. So don't say it's old news. Don't be dismissive because when you say that's old news, that's a bit dismissive, right? Because the whole purpose is the information. When you get information, you have to apply it. I was dealing with somebody and they said, "Oh, I heard that before," and I was telling them something about how we view women, and like I heard that before, and I looked right at it and said, "How did that work out for you?" So don't say you heard it before if you didn't apply it. And guess what? I'm no longer there. So she heard it before and heard it all before. Yeah. Tell me this, tell me that. And she on her Sunshine Anderson. Just alone right now. Playing with the cats. So again, apply the information. One night stands for me now today. I ain't nothing wrong with a good one night stand. It's a waste of time physically if the person don't know what they're doing. That would get you upset. But it's a good time. Majority is a good time. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Y'all super fun in the chat. I'm loving this. Hit them likes, hit them 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just got over 13. So again, like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. I'm on every Sunday, every Wednesday. So make sure y'all tap in. And I drop videos daily. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. It's about that time. Set your watch. It's time to wrap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night in Time to Wrap. And again, I would love to hear y'all comments in the chat. Y'all keep engaging in the pod. Uh, question. This is a question. This is a question. Will the CIA ever be fully credited for starting gangs and dividing our neighborhoods in the U.S.? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, will the CIA ever be, excuse me, will the CIA ever get the full credit for starting gangs and dividing our communities in the US? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I don't know if y'all do personal research about history, but me, I just love a good research, right? And throughout my research, I found out that there was mysterious crates dropped into underserving communities. And you would think that these are supplies that would help the community benefit themselves. No, these were undocumented, and these crates was for any and anybody that found them and came across these crates. And these crates happened to hold weapons, knives, guns, all types of guns, drugs in different neighborhoods throughout the US. And of course, these neighborhoods are underserving communities. Will the CIA ever get the full credit? Now, mind you, they did these to these communities for money. And I say, money? What for? Think about it. If the neighborhood is ran down, if the neighborhood is riddled with violence, it brings the property value down. So now, when they bring that property value down, somebody could come into the neighborhood and buy it for pennies and then change the neighborhood around and get a profit on top of that. And if you copy and paste that same type of model all over the world, then you have the haves and the have nots. You have something called the real estate tycoons versus people who struggle just to pay $500 in rent. Just in the 80s alone, there was a point in time in the 80s where people were struggling to pay $250 in rent. This is real business. So, will the CIA ever get the full credit of this? Where they have drugs and guns in our neighborhoods and they know what's going on? We didn't fly it in here, we didn't ship it in here, but the main people who are going to jail are the people from the community because they're trying to create a way. So, will the CIA ever get the full credit that it deserves for dividing the company, excuse me, dividing the culture and dividing these different areas in undeserving neighborhoods? I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Please let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Ebony. We are all grown. We have just to make excuses. Date whoever you want. Okay. Okay. So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Um, when you see certain shows, like I don't know if y'all was a fan of Snowfall. Snowfall was a really, really good show. And they showed the fact that They have his character named Teddy, and he also went by Reed. And he was just in multi different circles, whether it was the Brotherhood, whether it was the Mexican gangs, whether it was the Brothers, whether it was the cartel. He had his hand in everything, and he's a straight up CIA agent, double agent. Other people in the government couldn't even stop Teddy, couldn't even stop Reed. He had the green. He When you see green, it said go for Reed or Teddy, aka Teddy. And people will watch that and believe that's just entertainment. That wasn't entertainment. That was them telling a portion of the story because it gets deep. It gets deep, and it gets to wash their hands of our communities and the effect that it had on our community. So again, I would love to know what y'all think about that. It's just crazy, but we see these different things in the movies, in TV shows, and we just look at it as entertainment. But in real life, that it affected our communities. When you think of Miami, Miami at one point was known as probably the drug capital of in the U.S. If you really think about it and think of all the destruction and harm that it came with Miami. And mind you, it was Miami's supposed to be sexy. And the reason why it was sexy because you had people spending big money. That's what makes it sexy. If you ever been to Miami, Miami is not glamorous. It's not a glamorous place. Now, when you go South Beach is glamorous. South Beach was created for people that have money. People that live in Miami, hey, yeah, nah, we keep that. We gonna redline this thing right here. No, sir. You're not gonna bring that to South Beach. So again, they're not getting the full credit in these communities and they blame gangs. How was gangs created? Because people wanted to stand up for their neighborhood. And then all of a sudden, magically, these crates came out of nowhere. When now they have access to guns, drugs, and a plethora of it. They get replenished and refilled. So will the CIA ever get the full credit? I'm going to give them full credit. So I'm hoping that y'all take that information and spread that along as well. Everything was on purpose, and none of it was by accident. Y'all saying yup. True. Shout out to Rashida. Shout out to Ebony. Again, hit the likes, hit the 100s, man. Super, super loving the fact that y'all engaging in the chat. Appreciate that. But yeah, again, the CIA. And the crazy thing about the CIA, when they pass away, right? When the CIA agent passes away, his name is not even on his tombstone. Look, think how crazy that is. His name is not even on his tombstone, in his crypt, or or whatever, wherever that they bury this man. His name will never be on his stone. So can you imagine if you're never going to be recognized? Can you imagine the green light that you have to do all types of disgusting things, and you have to live with it? But because they don't view us, the brothers and people from underserved communities as humans, guess what? They felt like we strong enough, we can handle it. So I just thought that was very interesting in itself. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. Netflix and Warner Music Group has struck a deal for a multi-year deal for artist documentaries, focused both on legendary and contemporary talent, aiming to boost Netflix music-driven programming. Excuse me. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, Netflix and Warner Music Group struck a deal, multi-year deal for artist documentaries to focus on both legendary and contemporary talent, aiming to boost Netflix music driven programming. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, I kind of don't like love it for real. Like honestly, I haven't had Netflix in a while, but I still get Netflix. How, Ash? Hey man, things happen, man. I make things happen. You know what I'm saying? But do people go to Netflix for the documentaries? Are they known for making great documentaries? Or are they known for buying great documentaries and showing it on Netflix? Do what y'all do. Netflix, y'all make a half decent movie, and y'all make better series on Netflix. To be honest with you, from the shows and the histories the history that of Netflix of what they've always done. So me personally, eh, artist documentary, yeah, that's not just your strong point. Uh, uh, Leave that to the people that do that. Like whoever does unsung, the company that does unsung, they do an amazing job. They do an amazing job. They pick artists that people have forgotten about, and when you go back down memory lane, you forget how many hits they had, the impact that they had on their fan base, the impact that they had on and off stage. And at one point in time, these people was real stars. But because we live in social media, people that used to be real stars is not really stars. Like that's just crazy to me. Like people that used to sell millions of albums, and they would say, "Yeah, I used to sell millions of albums." Like, yeah, but what have you done lately, fool? Like, what you talking about? You used to sell millions of albums. I don't even know who you are, which is one of the most idiotic statements that somebody can make. Once somebody is relevant, they're always going to be relevant. Once somebody does something great, you can't not know somebody who somebody is. Culture is culture. So if you're a part of a culture, then you have to know who they are. That's like somebody liking basketball and don't know who Michael Jordan is. Or I never seen the Michael Jordan play for real. I never looked at his highlights. But you like basketball. That don't make any sense, bro. Like I've never had an interest in something and not looked who was the top dog and not know who that was and why they was important. Never, not never. So again, let the unsung folks do documentaries. Let them do that when it comes to music documentaries. Now, if you want to do other documentaries, Netflix do put together a good documentaries when it comes to like murderers and like that type of stuff. But music, that one is a little tough for me. I don't love it, but hey, content is content, and Netflix right now is buying up everything. Netflix is buying up everything right now. So I'm not mad at it. And yeah, it is what it is with that. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And it also depends who they do their music documentaries on. If they pick artists, like Netflix has a chance to really do something special. I will say that if they do it properly. They can focus on big artists and they can focus on artists that again that are unsung people that deserve the light because they are talented and they have great music. So they can serve the music community properly if they do this thing right. So we will see regarding Netflix. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. Hall of Fame honorees. It has been finalized with the Hall of Fame honorees as far as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, excuse me. Artists like Celia Cruz have been introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you don't know who Celia Cruz is, you better go find out. This lady was legendary, great Latin artist for years. I mean, this woman put on decades of fire music. She was so lit. They didn't give her a biopic. Nah, they didn't give her a biopic. She was so lit. I don't know how she did this, how she get. Well, I know why, because she was lit. She was so lit. They gave this lady like a 200 episode, like 45 minutes long of her life. Think about that. A 200 episode, 45 minutes a piece, dog. And it's in Spanish. Don't you know I watched 200 episodes of Celia Cruz life story? in subtitles, understood everything, and it was compelling. The things that she had to go through, and seeing her make it to the other side with dealing with colorism, dealing with back in the day, colorism came with the stigma if you was pretty or not to add on to it. So if you was a darker skinned woman, you was deemed unpretty. And that was something that she had to deal with as well too. Had to deal with leaving Cuba and dealing with the government on top of that in Cuba at the time, dealing with her family because she was the darker sister opposed to her lighter sister. I mean, it was so many different things that made it into a fire must see series. Like it was a 200 episode series of her life, and it was fire. So that's how lit Celia Cruz was. If you don't know now, you know. Also, Wu Tang Clan has been introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Wu Tang Clan. Well deserved. Fire. Wu Tang is forever. They have the most famous logo in the world. I will argue that with anybody. Not the most famous label and famous logo in music. That's by far. They have the one, excuse me, the one of the most famous labels in the world, meaning like their actual moniker. That Wu Tang sign, that W, everybody know that W. Everybody know that W. And Wu Tang is for the kids, and Wu Tang is forever. So again, congratulations to Wu Tang. Also, artists like MC Light and Queen Latifah is also now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So again, shout out to Celia Cruz, Wu Tang Clan, MC Light, and Queen Latifah. Both MC Light, Queen Latifah was very active when I was like a very young kid, talking about like 4, 5, 6, 7. They was real active with their music, but they was fire. Shout out. One is from Brooklyn, one is from Jersey. Shout out putting that music on the map. And majority of these younger women now who are performing and rapping should pay homage to them because they was the first. I won't say the first ones, but they was the first ones that did it the way that they did it. Not the first female rappers. They was the first female rappers to do it like they did it. When you talk about Queen Latifah, MC Light, oh my God, Salt and Pepper. I mean, these ladies did it at a very high level. And then you had your Foxy Browns, your Little Kims, your Eves, your Rod Diggers, your Lauren Hills. That's when you had that. Your Missy Elliott's. So if it wasn't for these ladies speaking that they were speaking, rapping what they was rapping, the subject matter, how they dress, and had to be very selective with what they're saying on record. Hey man, all homage should go to them ladies right there. But one group that did not get accepted to the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it kind of got me pissed off. I'm kind of pissed off. I will say that. I'm kind of pissed off regarding this. You accept these groups and these acts because they well deserve, for sure. Celia Cruz, Wu Tang Clan, MC Light, Queen Latifah. There's no debate in that. But you don't take New Edition? Where they do that at? You take these artists who are great, outstanding, put on for the community, put on for the culture, but you don't take New Edition? Now, by the time I knew any better, all of these guys were solo acts. I knew Bobby Brown as Bobby Brown. I knew Ralph Tresvant as Ralph Tresvant, as solo artists. Solo artists. I knew BBD as BBD. I knew Johnny Gill as Johnny Gill because around that time they was all popping in their own right, and I knew them as solo artists. One day, 10 years old, a video come on, and this New Edition, and I'm like, oh, that look like Bobby Brown. That looked like Ralph Tresvant and Johnny Gill and the crew. They was in a group. My brother, like, you didn't know that? This man behind me. You didn't know that? And when I went down a rabbit hole and heard that music, it was timeless. So how do you take these great artists and you don't take this great artist? Let's keep it real. New Edition, if somebody was to say that New Edition is the greatest music group of all time, I'm not going to argue that. It's well deserved. They was great together and it was great as solo artists. That's a real argument that you could have. If somebody was to say to me, Temptations is, I'm not gonna argue that. That's a real argument to have. Don't y'all know that the Temptations was so lit that they had two different Temptations? Two different Temptations. The original crew couldn't get along. Hey, I mess with you. We're gonna find two other brothers and we're gonna have our own Temptations. They gonna stay over there and put three together. And they were so lit, they had two different Temptations going to get all this money on. And everybody was cool. They didn't even care which Temptation group showing up. As long because they knew it was going to be a great show. New Edition, all great solo artists. And just like the Marvels, when they came together, like damn, okay, you got Captain America, you got Iron Man, you got Thor, and it was lit. So I don't understand how they don't put them together. Now, if they said the Jacksons is the best group of all time, I'm not going to have an argument with you on that too. Those three groups are in the pantheons of groups. Period. You can't have a conversation about greatest groups of all time in any genre of music, not just R&B. If your list do not include New Edition, the Jacksons, I should say, or the Temptations. That's how great New Edition is. And for the fact that they was excluded from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, yeah, nah, dog. I ain't going for that. I ain't going. I'm not feeling that. I don't think that. I hate this notion that if we take this group or this act, that we got to take somebody else out. But New Edition should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's no reason why we in 2026 and they looked at as possibly getting into it. What? What? They've been doing this thing since the 80s, bro. At the highest level. At the highest level. We're not talking about the business acumen. We're talking about the fact that they're able to relay, give great music, give great performance, and be an impact. They impact icons. So how are they not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? There's acts in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right now that can't do nothing with no New Edition. Nothing. They can't be on the same stage as New Edition. They wouldn't even want to follow New Edition. I don't care what genre of music you could think of. There's a lot of acts in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, whether dead or alive, that would not want to follow Prime New Edition. So how in the hell they don't get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? That makes absolutely no sense. That is dog shit. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. That makes no sense to me. Shout out to her. She did. She said, "Okay." Nah, it has to. We have to stand up for stuff like this. We can't just make it okay. We have to stand up for things like this because documentation matters. Why do you think this? That's such a powerful word. Document. It has to be documented. You know why? Because people forget. They forget the time. They forget the era. They forget the energy. Because sometimes It will never be duplicated again. Energy cannot be duplicated again. Especially that next level energy. Nah, man, we gotta be vigilant and we gotta be on it. We gotta be on it. We gotta be on it. That's just crazy to me. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. In time to wrap. A woman becomes a doctor at the same hospital that she was a janitor at for 10 years. Shay Taylor Allen. Shout out to her. She worked at Yale New Haven Hospital and returning as an anesthesiologist doctor, inspired by her mother's illness and desire to advocate for patients. She's 32 years old and completed her medical training and will now work in the same facility as she was born in and once worked in, which is crazy. So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Imagine you was born in this hospital, worked in this hospital as a janitor. Due to her mother's illness, it's sparked the fire under her, got her education, and now she comes back as a anesthesiologist doctor, which is very serious. If you don't apply the proper, when inducing people into comas, when people are getting surgeries, that anesthesiologist doctor, if they give you too much, dog, it ain't no coming back. You know what I mean? And if they give you too little, you can wake up too early at a most unpleasant time of any type of surgery. So that takes a finesse and a skill and that education. So shout out to her, man. Shay Taylor Allen. They say we don't give enough good news from our community by our community. So again, shout out to Shay Taylor Allen. I thought that was super inspiring. I think that's super amazing that she's able to do that. And at the end of the day, man, like, yo, that's a winner's story, right? Because a loser's mentality would have been like, damn, I was born here. All right, I'm cool with this, with the janitor job, because that's not a bad job. That's a decent paying job, especially at a hospital or at a school. I know janitors that make, well over, I don't say well over, but they make six figures regularly. And so that's not a bad job. So the fact that she took an education more serious and did this, yo, that's super duper lit. Imagine people seeing you every day doing something that they feel is important, but it's not doctor, right? A janitor is not doctor at a hospital or in the medical field of such. And now walking back through them doors, like, yeah, I got my education, I got my credentials, I'm lit, baby. So shout out to her again, Shay Shay Taylor Allen. Again, shout out to you for busting that out. Shout out to Ebony, New Edition should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's a fact. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They should definitely be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, what are they doing? People got mad at me on my TikTok. They was, like, yo, the Hall of Fame Rock and Roll, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is basically for rockers and pop art. Like, nah, bro. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not even our oldest form of music, but that's how they view excellence, because rock and roll, it stems through all the other music that we have today, right? And it just makes sense. When you say hip hop is very narrow, rock and roll is not narrow. So that's how we judge excellence. So the fact that you have one of the best groups of all time that's not in Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, is just mind-boggling to me. That's dope as F, all time and work put into reach that goal. Shout out to fam. New Edition is the best group of all time. See, I'm not gonna have that argument. I told anybody this. If you say New Edition, Jackson 5, Temptations, I'm not having that argument with you, because guess what? You're right. You're right. To me, all those three groups have stake at the throne. So you're right. And the fact that they're not in it is a problem. Problem. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to wrap. Doc Rivers is stepping down as the Milwaukee Bucks head coach after going 32-50 this season. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I never thought Doc Rivers was the ideal Milwaukee Bucks head coach. When they was looking for a new coach, I didn't even think they deserved to get rid of their old coach. Their old coach was pretty good. It was the players that kept messing up. It wasn't the coach. I never thought he was the guy. I was never sold or bought into Doc Rivers being in Milwaukee and dealing with Giannis. So I'm not surprised. It's about time. Um, but they have to be very smart on the next person that they pick. The next guy that they pick in Milwaukee, he has to have the respect of the players, and the front office has to empower him. You can't take the legs from the coaching. That's why you see players move the way that they move. Yeah, I don't gotta talk to you, coach. I'm gonna start playing the team, bro. I go talk to the owner, my dude. What? Yeah, nah, yeah, I don't want to do it that way. I go talk to the owner. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? You have to empower the coaches because that helps create the culture in itself on your team. Never bought into Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers being the coach for the Milwaukee Bucks. I just thought it was a bad situation. He didn't give them the advantage. I don't feel like Doc Rivers' coaching style was clearly going to align Giannis and with Dame at the time and everybody else that they had with that team was like, okay, Doc is going to give this team an advantage at what? With what? What about his system is going to take Giannis' game to the next level? So again, I wasn't bored, and I'm not surprised that this happened. At the end of the day, I'm not mad. It was time to move on. They sucked. They sucked. Mind you, Giannis was hurt, but when you look at the Celtics and they was without the services of Tatum, mind you, you have Brown there for sure. But you look at Atlanta, they don't scare nobody or knock you off your feet with all this talent. They develop players over there. They develop their team and they have some good players. And you have to come to play against Atlanta. Why couldn't the Milwaukee Bucks do the same thing? You already have Giannis, so regardless if he's playing or not, there's a system that how this thing's run through. It makes it even easier, to be honest with you. So the fact that they couldn't make it happen with Giannis and Doc, I'm not surprised. Never sold. It was never sold in. Never. I was never bought in. I didn't think that was a great hire. Me personally. Shout out to the chat. Milwaukee Bucks should sign Mark Jackson as the head coach. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. I don't understand how Mark Jackson haven't had a job since. Like like Mark Jackson created an architect the best shooting backcourt ever. Name another coach that architect the best ever in anything, whether it was the front court, whether it was the two best perimeter defenders, shot blockers that did not get another job elsewhere. He believed in Steph and Clay before they were Steph and Clay. Because when they got to that team, there was a guy on that team before those guys that used to cook. If you know, you know. This man used to cook. And he was the dude of the team. But Mark Jackson kept saying, be on the lookout for Steph. Be on the lookout for Clay. They can shoot. They shoot better than everybody else. They don't miss. And as new players, we was like, Better than everybody else. So you mean to tell me they better shooters than Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, John Stockton? Like, like these are shooters. Mark Price, Steve Kerr in the corner. They better shooters than that. Yeah. And year by year, we've seen it. So the fact that he still haven't got another opportunity is mind-boggling to me. It's even like this is why I say, and I know I probably got Knicks fans in here. This is why I still say that the Brooklyn Nets, we're gonna win the finals before the Knicks do. We're gonna do that. Yes, we're gonna win the finals before the Knicks do. Because the Knicks don't build right. Mark Jackson is a former Knick. Should have been the head coach. Mark Jackson, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to diss anybody when I make my point, I'd rather have him as the head coach of my team than Derek Fisher, than Tom Thibodeau, than Jeff Hornacek, than Mike Brown. Like, what are we talking about? This is simple and easy. Same thing with Brooklyn. We make better decisions, and we're just choosing to develop right now. But Mark Jackson would be great with the Brooklyn Nets. He would be absolutely amazing. Anywhere in New York, he would be amazing because those players will resonate with him. The knock with Mark Jackson is that he's too churchy. He's too preachy. When the players come into the facility, they don't hear the latest contemporary music. No, you hear that gospel. Mark Jackson got the gospel ringing around the arena. Got the gospel going. He got players that wants to have prayer meetings and talk about how much they love God, and that's a bigger problem than anything else on the court. So the fact that he hasn't got another opportunity, it's mind blowing to me. A shout out to the chat of the time. The NBA is whiteballing Mark Jackson. That's a fact. I love that term. I love that term. We really gotta start highlighting that term. I love that term. Shout out to fam, big facts. Monta, big facts, Monta. You stupid. But yeah, nah, but let's keep it real. Mark Jackson should have been had another chance. So will the will the Milwaukee Bucks sign Mark Jackson? Hell no. Hell no. No. They're gonna bring in a guy that that's basically is gonna be somebody that's have an expiring contract with a team that was going crazy for this year. Monte Ellis. I don't know why his name was escaping me at the time, but Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis, if y'all never heard of him, Monte Ellis used to absolutely fry dudes. Fry them. And Monte Ellis was so nice. They still drafted Steph, but Steph was supposed to be a backup. But when they seen Steph shoot, but then Steph got hurt a lot. So when Steph finally got healthy, you got Monte and you got Steph. You're not gonna get much defense out of both of them, but you're gonna get fried. If they're going up and down the court, Monte and Steph, oh, you're gonna get fried. You can't guard neither one of them. So, and then when you get a guy like Clay to play the two, now that changes the team entirely because Clay plays defense. He's a great perimeter defender. He can play the two. And then, you had to get rid of Monte eventually. But Monte pretty much got rid of himself a little bit because he started getting hurt. And then I believe he ended up with the Milwaukee Bucks, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, I think the Milwaukee Bucks next coach would be, again, on a team that has an expiring contract with a coach that has his team basically fighting for a playoff spot. That's what I believe. That's what I believe is going to be the next Milwaukee Bucks head coach. Unless they have very strong consideration for a guy like JJ Redick. I don't believe that he deserved another opportunity at the moment with the caliber of the Milwaukee Bucks because at some point I do believe that he will get let go as the Lakers head coach in this year. But uh, he may be like the sexy hire. Pause. You know what I mean? If not him, it's definitely going to be a team or an assistant that has an expiring contract that will be the next Milwaukee Bucks coach. Because guess what? It ain't gonna be no more Giannis. Giannis already said he wants to play in New York, which is another reason why that the New York Knicks will never win a championship before the Brooklyn Nets. It's gonna be too late. Now, Milwaukee, if they would have got Giannis, you know, in more of his better years where he's more healthy, then for sure. Because you got Brunson outside and you got Giannis inside. Giannis like being on the inside. The reason why the Knicks won't win now is because Cat refused to play on the inside. And Cat can score. He has range. He can shoot, but he loves to shoot. He like, nah, dog, kick it out here, bro. But bro, you 7 foot. You could get off some threes, but damn, get in the post. Nah, bro, kick that out here, dog. And that's why the Knicks won't win. Now, if they get a guy like Giannis, y'all still not gonna win because Giannis is past his prime, in my opinion. And I'm talking about not from a talent standpoint, but from a physical standpoint. You don't know what you're gonna get out of Giannis year in, year out. You know, once he's playing, he's going to be great, but you don't know if he's going to play 50 games, 60 games, 30 games. So I don't know. And then a part of that trade, too, is that the Knicks is not prepared to take his brother. You know where Giannis go, the Nationals got to go too. And the Knicks, the Knicks ain't trying to do it. It's like, hey, we can make this trade, but now we got to take the Nationals on top of that. Yeah, nah, bro, nah. And Giannis has said that's the only place he wants to go is to the New York Knicks. Now, if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks and my management, guess what? You're gonna go wherever I say you're gonna go. What you mean? That's the only team you're gonna go to. If the Sacramento Kings give me a crazy deal like 10 first round picks, guess what? You're gonna be a Sacramento King, bro. What you talking about? Nah. Even if he has a waive clause, right? Let's say he has a no trade clause. Excuse me. Let's say he has a no trade clause. Cool. Th- Then you don't go. Then you stay here and play. Like players think they have all the leverage. They don't. It's just that the management has grown to be soft. They could just say, "Yo, if you want to waive it, then guess what? You're not hurting us. You're gonna play or you're not gonna play. You haven't been playing." It's the Milwaukee Bucks year in, year out. People don't expect the Milwaukee Bucks to go crazy year in, year out. Get it out the draft, bro. Like, what are we talking about? They're in the driver's seat. So if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks management, you gonna go where I say you're gonna go. Whoever give us the biggest and the best deal, that's where you're gonna go. So their next coach has to be able to have the authority over the team, not Giannis having authority of the team. So that's my honest opinion regarding that. Again, hit the likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. And again, this is episode 255. That's a lot of episodes. So again, I appreciate y'all support. I drop videos daily. So again, I've been seeing those engagements. I've been seeing y'all comments daily on them shorts and on those videos. And I appreciate it wholeheartedly. Uh, Shout out to Fam, and shout out to Tom. What Tom said, Sam Cassell, he should be he should be the next for the Boston Celtics. Time for Sam Cassell to get his head coaching job in the league. I would love Sam Cassell to be the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. I would love that. He's a former Milwaukee Buck, understands the culture, understands what it's like to plan in that market, and understands how to get certain free agents. You don't go after the top tier free agent. You go after the guy that has something to prove because Sam Cassell was a guy that had something to prove, and you had to really bring it against Sam Cassell. And Sam Cassell was a great Milwaukee Buck at one particular time. I would love that matchup for him. I would love that. I would love that for him. Shout out to Fam. When Monte Ellis left the Golden State Warriors, March 2012, he was traded to the. I wasn't bugging. I wasn't bugging. I knew he was on the Milwaukee Bucks. I wasn't bugging. That's lit. Fam. New York Knicks is cursed. it's not that the Knicks is cursed. It's not that. It's not that, bro. Y'all just have bad management, bro. Like I don't care who they bring in, but like I'm not gonna lie. The guy Worldwide West, he makes basketball moves. I will say that. I will say that. This has been the most competitive New York Knicks team I've seen in a long time, for sure. Now, would I prefer 90s Knicks than this Knicks team? Yes. Because that Knicks team, hard nosed, Patrick in the post, John at the three. You got Bebop doing what Bebop does. He gonna get to the cup. He gonna get to his spot. You got Oakley being a straight up goon. You got Charles Smith being smooth. You got Ron Harper doing his thing. I mean, you had a squad. This Nick team, like, just not gonna win, bro. Like real talk. When you watch them play, everybody wants to do what they want to do. This is why they don't win. This is why they don't win. Everybody wants to do what they want to do, especially Cat. Cat, instead of playing in the post, he like, yo, I'm outside, bro. Get me the ball. And he's a gifted scorer. But when he plays teams that could score, he gets tired. And when he gets tired, he shoots more threes instead of getting closer to the basket. And their coach is not a terrible coach, Brown, he's not a terrible coach, but he's not the guy for the job. So it's not that they curse, it's just they just had bad management overall. Outside of Worldwide West, everybody else, man, it's been terrible. Terrible. With the Brooklyn Nets, we win in the championship before the Knicks do. I say that now. I say that now. And we are rebuilding now. I believe that I don't even think the Nets, I don't even think we won like 13 games this year. And I'm still screaming from the top of my lungs, we're going to win the championship before the Knicks. Not because I hate the Knicks, because I don't. It's because of the management. One thing I can say about my Nets, we go for the gusto. We build the team up. And we're like, yeah, dog, we got a chance to get Joe Johnson. Oh yeah, damn, Joe Johnson with Williams. Yo, that would be a hell of a backcourt. Yeah, that's crazy, dog. And we can get Gerald Wallace. He a defender. He gonna do all the dirty work with a young Brook Lopez. Yeah, that could work, dog. We go for the gusto. Oh, we could bring in Kevin Garnett and the truth with that on top of that too. Oh yeah, they a little older, but they not leading the team, which is cool. They could be, you know what I'm saying? They third and fourth options. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that's cool. We build the team again. Hey, yeah, yo, the young Nets, we rocking, baby. Yeah, that's cool. That's cute. I don't know if y'all know this, but Kyrie Irving is interested in being a Brooklyn Net. Who? Kyrie Irving. And he was selling us like this is what he was telling us. Like, if he come, he could get KD to come. KD, the Tarantula. Oh, okay. Trades. We bring in KD, Kyrie, and we bring in Harden. So for my Brooklyn Nets, we go for the gusto. I will say that. So we in the rebuilding stage, but we're gonna build it. We're gonna build the championship team before the next do. And I'm talking about a team that actually wins, not a team that goes to the playoffs. I'm talking about a team that actually go ahead and win. Y'all heard me say, and when it happened, it's gonna be quiet street. Anytime I'm right, it get quiet street. Every time I'm right, it gets super quiet. Nobody gonna say, "Yo, Ash, you was right," but it gets super quiet when I'm right. So and when I'm right, I'm right. But it takes some time, but I'm right. I say it before it becomes a real thing. So Charles Oakley, the enforcer. Yeah, I mean that Nick team was on a whole nother level in my opinion. Then you had Xavier McDaniel, who was like another enforcer. Like they had, like New York used to have goons. When I look at the Knicks now, they're skilled. They have the talent to actually win. They have the talent. They have the pieces, like talent wise. But mentally, excuse me, nah, the mental not there. The mental not there. And they don't play a goonish style of brand of basketball that it requires in New York City. So yeah, they ain't not gonna win that in my opinion. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. A rapper designer, his video went viral of his audio. He says that he's basically suicide. Tells his child's mother to unalive herself in a disturbing 911 call. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, rapper designer in the audio viral video has he's telling the child, excuse me, he's telling his child's mother to go unalive herself in a disturbing video, and later on he says that he's, he's suicidal. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Hit them likes, hit them 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. I'm Ashley Lovechild, and I'm on every Sunday, every Wednesday. So make sure y'all continue to show that love and tap in. Um, so let me know what y'all think about that. I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, though, I heard the video, and honestly, nobody's talking about this, which is crazy enough because again, designer is from the culture. He's from Brooklyn, and it's like we do a great job in building somebody up, but once they fall, it's like, yeah, nah, we don't want anything to do with that person. The video, the audio is very disturbing. Obviously, in the audio, him and his, what is said to be his child's mother, they're arguing. They're having a fight, not a fight meaning a physical fight, but they're having a bad argument. Things are being said, and it wasn't flattering on his behalf because you hear mostly him in the audio. But when he says he's feeling suicidal after the fact, you can hear it. You can hear it. You can hear somebody reaching out and feel, I don't want to say unsupported, but doesn't feel that he has somebody that he can grow through with this situation. But I will say this for men, fellas, when you're dealing in your relationships and it gets toxic, whether it's your fault or hers, seek professional help. Not mama them, not grandmama them, not uncle them, not dad them, even though they will give you great advice. Well, not all of them, but you get the good with the bad and bad with the good, right? But seek professional help. Reason being, because professionals have tools and they have a foundation into helping you get out of that negative space that you are festering in your relationships. If you do it alone, it's going to take a much longer time. If you do it alone, and if you continue to lay in that same toxicity and that energy and environment, it's only going to fester into something unfortunate. Because there's arguments that could turn deadly because you're dealing with a whole lot of emotion and a whole lot of feeling. You can be dealing with betrayal. You could be dealing with greed. You could be dealing with lack of somebody being faithful and intentional and being loyal all at one time. You could also deal with a lack of respect, disrespect, all at one time in a toxic situation. So that's what that situation sound like. Him and his lady or ex-lady or baby's mama going through something that is extremely toxic, and they're both saying things to get each other mad. And y'all know how it goes when they get into a toxic situation. When somebody says something, the other person gonna say something even worse. And as a dude, you say, well, yeah, this, that, and the third. And she say this, that, and the third. To overtop that, it just compounds. So at the end of the day, when you hear that audio, that's what you hear. You hear the hurt, you hear the anger. And that type of anger, that type of emotion, being overcome with it could result into something that could end up tragic. Something you didn't mean to happen. But all that emotion, fellas, seek help, professional help when you're dealing in a toxic situation, regardless if it's your fault or hers. Because at the end of the day, the whole purpose is to have a set of a foundation or a set of guidelines or principles or just things that you could work on. When you're going through a toxic situation, you use these tools to get out of it. That's how you have changed behavior. And that's how you're able to control the ending of this story. You can control what happens next. And as men, and I didn't understand this when I was a teenager. My mother has said this to me because I went through something when I was a teenager. You have the power to control what happens next. And I'm like, what? Woman, have you been? Are you so? This person attacked me. I didn't attack them. I said what I said. They said what they said. And then they attacked me. And I got the power to control what happens next. And as a grown ass man, she's right. And I didn't understand it until I got older because when I speak, people listen. You're not going to touch me. You're not going to put your hands on me. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to handle this situation where I can control the outcome. And if you choose to take a risk by putting your hands on me, I'm going to deal with the situation accordingly, but I'm going to deal with the situation where you're going to get the minimal blowback and I'm going to get the minimal blowback. I'm not going to allow you to hurt me or yourself because I'm a dude and I'm strong as an ox too. But I don't say that to toot my own horn. I say that in understanding that I can control what happens next. And as men, when you're dealing with a woman, all types of things are going to be said, whether it's your fault or hers. At that point, it doesn't matter. What matters is what happens next. And mind you, crashing out is not something that us as men, we don't, that's not our thing. Having that emotional intelligence, it moves this thing forward. It keeps everybody grounded, especially when the people around you respect what's coming out your mouth, whether it's yes or whether it's no. So that's what I have to say about with designer. Seek professional help. Seek it. And that's not something that's this is not shame speech. This is not a diss. This is like, yo, I see you. I hear you. Seek professional help because this only going to benefit you and it's going to benefit your family and it's going to benefit the most important person in the equation, and it's your child. It's your child. Because there's no such thing as a perfect parent. No matter what we do, especially as men, we're always going to be judged by our bad. Not by our good, by our bad. No matter what we do. That one bad time dad was bad, or you could count how many times when dad is bad and when dad is not good, people remember that. because people respect your yes and people respect your no. So for designer, seek professional help. So that way you can impact yourself, your children, and that children's mother. Because when you have knowledge of self, when you have that embodiment of power and respect for yourself, they have no choice but to fall in line. Everybody else do. Can't talk to me a certain way. I'm not even going to allow it. And guess what? I don't have to respond for you to even get that message. I wish him the best with that situation. I say that sincerely and not in tongue in cheek. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to rap. A new viral video. Um, it's going crazy. It's going crazy. Uh, where we have some women, and I have to preface some women, not all, because there's a lot of women out there that don't think like this, obviously, right? But there's a viral video, it's going crazy, where you have a compilation of women that believe that if a man chases a bag, that he could possibly be down low. And y'all know what down low means. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, new viral video. It's going crazy right now on social media. And the saying of compilation of women, if he's chasing a bag, he's probably down low. So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Let's keep this real. Let's keep this sweet. In short, right? We keep having these conversations about the caveats of men and women, right? The foundation and the bottom line to all of this is dating and not feeling like you have the proper suitors, right? For the ladies that think like this, going back to what I said earlier, people that complain about dating is the people who are limited. You don't find a whole bunch of good-looking people that have their stuff in order that complains about dating. Now they could complain about the quality, but not the availability of suitors. You could complain about not finding that right person, right? But you got suitors. You have people that want to try. These people are complaining because they don't even have people that want to try. That's two different things. So when you have some women complaining about men chasing the bag and not spending time with them, investing in them, that they could possibly or they probably DL, it's like you don't want a man who don't have motion for himself. So if he's chasing a bag, now that has a bedroom proclivity, that don't make any sense. A part of what you wanted him for was the fact that he had a bag. No woman out there wants a dude that don't have motion, that don't have a bag, even if she will rock with him because he don't have a bag. She still want him to have a bag. Now, if a woman will still rock with you and you don't have a bag, that goes to the measure of her character. But just because she's still rocking what you don't doesn't mean she never wants you to get some money. So the fact that you have some women running with this narrative is these same women that create narratives because they are limited. Their sexual marketplace is not up. They don't have their life together. They don't eat the right foods. They don't work out properly. They don't do what it takes to get the man that they want. And other women who do get the men that they want, who are in long lasting relationships, who either are married or with a life partner, and they live great, they thrive, they go on vacations. He treats her respectfully. She treats him respectfully. She's in service to him. And they have a great life together. You don't hear none of them complaining. So again, Look at the source. Look at the source. And it's a lazy narrative because at the end of the day, nobody don't got no money or got something together or have something going. Again, I said it before, you don't have to have all the money in the world, but damn, like if something happened to me tomorrow, can you sustain us? Can you sustain us if something happened to me and vice versa? So we got to be real cognizant of the image and and what we put out and the messaging that we put out, whether it's men or women. And this is coming from women. And when some of these women talk about things like this, they tell on themselves because it's a mentality. It's a loser's mentality. It's like again going back to if he wasn't here, then I would be the winner. If she wasn't here, then I would be the winner. It's a loser's mentality. Oh, the only reason why you got that leg up is because you got a nice body. Yeah, you can have a nice one too. Go to the gym. You don't gotta go to Dr. Miami. No, go to Planet Fitness. It's cheaper. Stay consistent. Get a good, get you a good meal plan. And be consistent. You can do it too. Oh, he got the girl because he got a nice car. It's a loser's mentality. Either you get a nice car, or you find another way to get her attention, or you move on. It's a loser's mentality. Work with the gifts that God done gave you. That's one thing I love growing up playing sports because playing football, playing basketball. I had one particular teammate always come to mind. One of my teammates from college. He was a heavy set guy, 330 pounds, and he was like 6'4", right? Now, a lot of women wasn't lined up at his door, but that didn't stop him from putting on the clothes that made him look the best, having some of the best cologne in the world, being cool. And I walk into the little lunchroom. Who has him a little sugar will go off on the side? My boy. He didn't let whatever shortcomings that he felt that he may have had, like to stop him. Me personally, I'm not 6'7", 6'6", and guess what? You would think that I am based on how I talk. I'm not short neither. I'm not short neither. Like I'm not saying that out of that. Like, I'm not a short guy, but you would think I'm like 6'6", 6'7" or something. I'm not. My confidence, my energy, yeah. I'm very competitive. I'm from Brooklyn. I grew up around a lot of competition and dudes. We always competed about everything. So that gave me a whole nother level of confidence, right? Because I don't give a, you know what I'm saying? It's either you in or you're out. The worst thing a woman can say is no, because no means no, right? Even if you're in the thing having a good time, when she say stop, you stop. But the beautiful thing is, there's a woman out there that's gonna rock with you. That's the beautiful thing about this. So at the end of the day, we have to understand that we can't allow ourselves to give ourselves these excuses, having that loser's mentality. Oh, oh, he rather go chase the bag than spend time with me. That's a loser's mentality. Like we got to get over that. I had an ex like that. Like, don't you run the business? Don't you run the company? Why can't you do this and why can't you do that? Woman, I could do whatever I want when I want to do it. I could wake up tomorrow and go to Jamaica or anywhere that I want to. But not if, but being that I run businesses, they count on quality control. Whether it's the music business, whether it's businesses outside of that, you expect a level of quality control. Just because I don't answer to somebody else's rules, I still have a set of rules that made me be successful, that I have to continue with. So I can't just do what you want me to do when you want that. It don't work like that. It's a loser's mentality. So yeah. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. All right, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Wrap. This has been a big screaming question all over social media, YouTube, in all aspects of the media space. TikTok, it's been everywhere as far as this next question. Is Coach Prime, Deion Sanders' job on the line at Colorado? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, is Coach Prime, Deion Sanders' job, is it on the line at the University of Colorado? And the reason why this is so important, even for people that don't really partake in football like that, the reason why this is important because Coach Prime, Deion Sanders is easily one of the most polarizing men in the world. In the world. Some people have never seen him play, but they know that he was great. They know that. And people have strong opinions about him, whether it's good or bad. But it's never about his skill or his greatness. That's how great he is. I've never heard somebody say, oh, he was trash. Oh, he wasn't that good. Or he wasn't what we thought he was. You've never heard that. Ever. No. Now you may have heard that he probably, took business decisions when it came to tackling, but you never heard him not being great. Polarizing him taking the job at Jackson, which was also polarizing in itself because he went to the brothers. He's still with the brothers. He went to the brother school and turned that into a media next level bonanza. And the team was good and was continually getting better. And then they elevated and went to Colorado. Now, they're saying that if Coach Prime does not have a good season this year, that he could be possibly looking at losing his job. Me personally, they're tripping. They're tripping. Can't lose his job, dog. You shouldn't lose his job. Granted, in college football, when you win, you elevate, and when you lose your job. His tenure does have asterisks. First year they go what 4-8, not terrible compared to the fact that they lost every game the year prior to. They also lost by an average of 30 points a game prior to him being there. They go 4-8. Mind you, Travis Hunter is injured like 4 games out of that year. Shador missed, I believe, either 2 games or one because he was getting sacked at an alarming rate. But they still put on a show. 4-8, cool. Next year, 9-3. Travis Hunter wins every major award in college football along with the Heisman Trophy. Shador wins the Johnny Unitas Award. They retired in numbers, have a great year. They should have been better than 9-3. They should have beat that Kansas team, and that Kansas State team. But I digress. They finished 9-3. Very next year, last year, 3-9. Very deserving to the team that they had. Team was decent. Lack of leadership is the reason why they lost majority of those games, which they were one-score games. But this man was dealing with cancer and dealing with bladder, something with his bladder where they had to create him a whole new bladder. Like he's fighting for his life. So he's not going to be around the team as he should have been. Not should have been. He's fighting for his life, but I get the point that I'm making. And now they're saying if he has another season like that this year, that he could be losing his job. Dog, dog. When was the last time Colorado consistently got 5-star, 4-star recruits. Dog. Not never. Not never. Now they had great players go there and develop into NFL stars for sure. I remember watching Slash, aka Cordell Stewart. I remember watching Westbrook, the receiver that they had. I remember watching Rashad Salam tear up college football. I remember that. I remember Colorado was always a solid blue collar team, but they never got the top tier talent out of the recruiting scale on a yearly basis. Never. It wasn't even a consideration unless you was from the state of Colorado. And now, most recruits coming out of high school, Colorado is always in that conversation. Mind you, college football is now a transfer portal sport, which Coach Prime pretty much he signified that, talking about the portal, understanding that the best players are the older guys. And when they talk about his team being so small, like these are 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old guys. They still in development in their body, but they're not the smallest team in college football, contrary to what people believe. But compared to other teams that have 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, oh my goodness, I would love to show y'all an old college picture of myself at 23 opposed to when I was 19 years old, maybe like a buck 85, 22 in college. Oh, I was all everything of that 235. Or everything of that 235 at running back. So again, it makes a difference. So all these things that they now countering against him, he coined it. He coined the use and the favorability of transfer portal. Now everybody goes into the transfer portal. But when Coach Prime was doing it, it's a problem. You don't want to take high school guys. Why you don't want the high school guys, Prime? So now when he get high school guys, they are being developed, but it takes time to develop their body. And then he goes into the transfer portal and gets some great guys. So I don't even think they're going to even have the season that they had last year. They're only slotting Colorado to win 3 games this year, which I hope they keep it that way. I honestly hope they make it lower. I honestly hope that they make it lower. I honestly hope that they say that Colorado could only and possibly win 2 games this year. I hope that. And I hope that Las Vegas hears that and use that metric. Colorado won't win no more than 2 games this year. I pray that Vegas use that as a money line or as some sort of figurehead. I pray that happens. I pray. Because if you know football and you look at the talent of the team and how they built it and how they, putting that team together, and it does take time, they are super duper talented opposed to the year before. And the year before, it wasn't that they was talented or lack of talent. They didn't have great leadership, and their quarterback play was detrimental. Those are the main 2 things. This year, I see a vast difference in the team in itself. So the fact that they talking about he might actually lose his job, Coach Prime affects that economy. He affects the recruiting. He affects the style of Colorado. The only thing honestly that I wish that he would incorporate at Colorado is the use of more traditional tactics, meaning like knowing the fight song and your team taking pride in the fight song, taking pride into some of the things that traditionally the team did as a part of their own brotherhood and fraternity at Colorado. But if you think about it, most schools still have that type of problem. If you're not a Michigan, if you're not a Alabama, if you're not a LSU, I want to say LSU, I'm bugging. If you're not a Alabama, you're not a Michigan, you're not Ohio State, you're not a Notre Dame, you're not a Penn. I'm talking about blue bloods for real. When you go to those type of schools, yeah, singing the fight song, yeah, that's mandatory. doing the things that we do around here, yo, bro, that's it. With Michigan, you not allowed to wear red in the building. Ain't no red in the building, dog. And y'all know why. Ain't no red in the building. I go to Ann Arbor, ain't gonna be nothing but navy and gold on me for a fact. Trust and believe. So that's the type of environment that I would love to see Coach Prime add to what that he's building at Colorado. But let's keep it real. If Coach Prime gets fired, who y'all hiring, dog? Who? Bro, you think Coach Marion gonna stay? Bruh. You think he there for Colorado or Coach Prime? You think Coach Marv? I hope I said his name right, the defensive coordinator. And you think he's there because the tradition of Colorado? Dog. You think them players is there for the tradition of Colorado? Unless you're a Colorado guy, meaning you're born and raised and it means something to play in Colorado. Majority of these players is coming from the south of basically the southern states, the Floridas, the Alabamas, the Mississippis, the Texas. And you think they did because the tradition of Colorado? Dog. If they fire Coach Prime, dog. So that stopped the cat. Now, I would love to see them win. I hope that they do win, and I believe that they do. Colorado winning, Coach Prime winning, it's a beautiful thing for college football because it's going to give something for everybody to talk about constantly and always. So that's what I believe on that regard. All right, so moving on to our next segment, which is our Keep the Lie Alive segment. My Keep the Lie Alive for this episode is spinning the block can sometimes bring a better opportunity. Again, spinning the block can sometimes bring a better opportunity. And the reason why I bring that up, Dave Chappelle, great comedian Dave Chappelle, is considering bringing back the Chappelle Show. When I heard this, I absolutely love this. I love this. The Chappelle Show, when it came out, I wasn't an avid watcher. Big fan of Dave Chappelle. Always been a great stand-up comedian to me. But he has a show. And if you know, you know. I'm like, he has a show, Dave Chappelle. Like, he's funny, but is he like parody funny or or what they call that, like skit comedy funny? I don't know. And all my teammates, bro, you gotta watch the Dave Chappelle show. It's hilarious. It's gonna be right up your alley. And I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. Second season came and gone. Then they got rid of the show, or he left the show, I should say. And something told me one day just to sit and watch the show. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Period, point blank. Hilarious. Some of those skits live rent free in my head. Period, point blank. So the fact that they thinking about even, or he's thinking about bringing back the show, I love this, and it's needed. And me, I'm the type of person. I don't know about y'all in the chat, but I enjoy comedy. I'm not so easily offended. Now, there's some things I'm offended about, but I'm not easily offended. Comedy is comedy, and when something is funny and when it's done in great taste, it's just funny. I don't know, maybe because I grew up in a different era, but funny is funny to me. Like, I still love when people get roasted. Like, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in that. Brooklyn, New York, you had to learn how to snap on somebody, you had to learn how to bag on somebody, or somebody going to snap or bag on you. So I love that style of comedy. And having hip hop acts being associated to the Chappelle show and the type of comedic actors and comedians that he has on the show is chef's kiss. Is chef's kiss. When I think of Dave Chappelle and when he came out with the sketch of Because back in the day, wow. When I was younger, they had the and one mixtape for basketball. It was like, imagine they had the and one mixtape for baseball and tennis, right? And maybe a decade later, we get a tennis player that was playing like how that tennis player did with Dave Chappelle, right? So again, like his art, like it almost like kind of dictates to like real life. So again, I'm ecstatic if he does bring this back. Hope he brings it back. Just the fact that he's considering it, I think this is going to happen. It's just getting the right pieces and the writers and who's going to be a part of it. I think that's also going to be a deciding factor as well. But I love this idea, and I hope that it comes to fruition. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. I'm on every Sunday, every Wednesday at 10:30. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? Again, if this is your first time tuning and tapping in, I am Ashley Lovechild. And again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Again, don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100s on your way out. It does help with the growth of the show. Also, be on the lookout for that new OUV Records app. It's going to be for consumer to music to consumer, so that way you have a more interactive way of listening to the music and viewing the music. We no longer going to have the music available for Apple or Spotify because there are new updates regarding us as artists. They don't treat us good, so we're going to take our services elsewhere. Also, be on the lookout. I'm adding some things to the show, so be on the lookout for that. I drop videos daily, so again, continue to engage, hit them likes, subscribe, them shares, and I've been seeing y'all comments and continue to comment, even if you don't agree. Be respectful, cause I get at you. So still be respectful and show major love. Shout out to the chat, y'all been amazing all night. Shout out to Fan. Shout out to Ebony. Shout out to Tom. Shout out to Rashida. I'm not gonna say every single person, but again, I appreciate y'all for tapping in as well, man. Y'all been super duper amazing, showing major love. And remember, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out by being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Show that love and energy to people. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only off we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here. We celebrate life culture. And I will see y'all next time. I will see y'all this Wednesday at 10:30. And y'all already know what it is, man. It's love. And I'm gonna see y'all next time. I'm out.